into action. Anyway, I'm just up late here while I can't sleep. I was thinking about my idea for the internet. But anyways, I was thinking about the homeless people and how I can help and how we can all help, and how they can help themselves, and how one time I was downtown with a deal for the homeless people, and it was really early in the morning, like 5 in the morning or 7 in the morning, and there was a black guy. It doesn't matter if he was black or not, but he had a trench coat on. So I chased him down and drove around trying to find him, and caught up with the bastard. And the funny part of the story is that he said, "I'm not homeless." He was just a guy going to work. But anyways, so anybody can. But I guess the reason that I tried to build the deal is for my children. But my one youngest son, my oldest boy, is doing real good. But it's kind of, even this deal is to the point where he doesn't want to talk to me anymore about anything because of this deal, because I won't let up on this internet idea. But my youngest son, I just want the best for him, but if he ever gets down and out, I want him to have a deal in his breast pocket. So that's why I'm making this ideas for my children, so that if he gets on the skids, that he's got a way to make his way out. Because a lot of people are trapped there because they got no money in the welfare. The biggest thing I was thinking about is the welfare system doesn't work anymore, because when we were kids, you used to be able to get a welfare check, but now you can't get a welfare check to save your life. You got to have a job and a place to live, but there's no place to live, and nobody will even rent to you. But in the old days, we used to get a welfare check, but a lot of the time I'd just get a place to live and I wouldn't move in, and I'd just get my check and I'd get a pickup truck and I'd start selling firewood or whatever. But I've been actually sponsored by the government all my life. Right now I'm on AISH, which is the assured income for the severely handicapped, but I got the shit kicked out of me a couple of times by the systems, and I got taken away to the hospital one time, and then when they finally let me out of there, I was on AISH. But I've kind of figured the government's fucked me over, so they owe me. But anyways, I guess I'm used to getting free money, but I'm a product of my environment. But I've had free money, and I've had my own business, so I could make money on top of my money. And then, so I was actually living high on the hog for most of my last 10 years. But now the economy's crashed and my businesses are failing, and I've actually had to borrow $500 off my mother this month, and I'm going to probably need another $50 just to make it till I get paid with the welfare check. But the only people that have any money are probably people that are on AISH, but they don't really have any money because they got to pay rent. But I say I live at my mom's place, and I live in a bus out in the bush. And anyway, but I guess legally I got a place, but I just don't live there. But anyways, and then I pay like $100 rent for my bus, but I live off the grid. And anyways, it's just my idea tonight was it's a cooperative, and it's like a cooperative, like the co-op. But once you become a member, then you can sell memberships for $10. Everybody, and we're building a pool. Like in your pool, you can raise as much money as you can, and every member is $5.20 a year. So it's a pretty rich deal actually, because we're way overpriced. So we're actually making a piss pot full of money, but it's geared to be every week. But even a homeless man can raise $10 a week, but it'll take you like a good half a day to raise $5 if you're lucky, because and it's even harder now with the economy. Because one time I had a deal, and I was in Calgary not too long ago with the sign for Idea Joe, and I stopped at the top of the overpass, and I give the guy the sign, and he was like carrying my sign and with his cup, and then I went back a couple hours later to see how he was making out, but there was just another guy in his place. But there's more homeless people all the time, which is a good customer base for this deal, believe it or not, because the homeless man, the difference between a homeless man and the average Joe is Homeless man will, if you stop a homeless man on the street and say, hey, I need to talk to you, or hey, that's all you got to say is hey, and they stop and talk to you, but then they got all day to talk to you and they'll listen to you, and they don't balk at opportunities, and they're willing to fucking work if you got a job. And with the average Joe, if you say, hey, I need to talk, hey, they won't even stop or look at you even. Like when I go to town, for some reason I'm a homeless man, even though I'm not, but in the way I am, I'm like the king of the homeless. And it's lonely at the top, and the only place I really feel comfortable is, well, not that I've ever been there. I was there one time during the Stampede. I was in the rodeo that year, but anyways, I was downtown Calgary. That was probably the most exciting time of my whole life. But anyway, but I'm planning on writing up a deal tomorrow, and then like what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to sell it, even if I got to live on the skids myself. But I shouldn't have to with this deal, or else it'd be a good place to run my company right off the ground level. Well, the thing is, like, I could help families with this deal, and I can help like end violence against, well, I was going to say against women, but anyways, like violence is probably partly caused by no money, because everybody's pissed off because they got no money and they can't do jack shit. Anyways, we could end some drug dealers could turn over, instead of selling drugs, they could sell Joe money and legally. And if the police find the deal, if you made it this far in the video, I was thinking about the police, but if you say the police are all assholes, that's like discriminating against the police, because I actually kind of like the police. But when you're Robin Hood, you got to have the sheriff to make it work. So anyways, but if you're a policeman, you could help somebody. Instead of oppressing them, you could actually lift them up, which is probably what you had in mind when you became a police officer. But then you got wrapped up in the system, because you got the gang mentality, because police officers will, well, I seen it in Calgary, but I was handcuffed one time, and the police jumped on my back and stuck his fingers in my eyeballs. So anyways, and rode me around like a donkey for a while. And that was over one of my website ideas at the mall, and I got beat but like Jesus over this deal. But anyways, it's $10 to join for a membership, and then you can sell memberships for $10, and then there's a 1% tip to me, because I'm going to be able to help people build their websites. So I'm going to answer phone calls for you, and so it's like having a 24-hour secretary. But I need money to get a better phone program, because I'm out of the service area, but I need a phone that I can talk to people on the phone when I'm in Calgary and stuff like that, because I'm out of the service area, because I live in the country. But my phone will ring, but I got free outgoing calls. But you can text me and I can call you back or something, but that's a pain in the ass. But I'm willing to do it to earn my 1%. But I also know where to get printing done at 4 cents a copy for double-sided 8.5 by 11, and that deal is gonna have to be an 8.5 by 11 both sides, because it's, one guy told me one time, quit trying to do the impossible. But I was thinking, once you do the impossible, you know you can do it again, because I used to make a pool shot in pool that I could get by a ball without having to, if I shot it hard enough, it would go right by the one ball, and for some reason, and anyways, nailed it like 100 miles an hour. I could do some magic on the pool table. But anyway, once you do the impossible once, you know you can do it again. So I might be able to squeak it down to I can try for like I always say, if you're going to shoot for this, if you want to hit the moon, shoot for the stars. But I can try to make it down to one-sided 8.5 by 11, because we cut down on the printing costs, because you could actually deliver flyers on this son of a bitch. Like I've already done my flyer deliveries for firewood, but if you hit condominiums and where the doors aren't that far apart, but anyways, you could. But I don't know if the Packies will understand this deal, but they might. Who knows? They might be the best players that you can get. If they can read English, they might actually. Well, I've got nothing again. I'm not racist. Except the joke is, unless they're taking my job, but they don't really. They actually create work in the economy. Well, my old boss told me that immigrants help the economy. because they create work. But anyway, that was in the old days. But now the immigrants are coming here and they're wealthy, and they're buying up all of our businesses, and they drove the house prices up to an astronomical level. So now you can't rent an apartment. But anyway, as far as I was getting back to the welfare, sponsored by Coca-Cola. Anyways, you can't get a welfare check to save your life, and they won't even give you a bus ticket anymore. So this is our only hope, is this deal, guys. Hit the streets, man. Because one time I was in my bunk in the bush 15, 20 years ago, and I thought, the homeless workforce. But anyways, I should just keep my beard, and I could go incognito. I could just walk downtown, and just like it was never that left for 10 years back. Oh yeah, but I wonder if they're still after me. But anyways, hopefully not. But I want to run into that son of a bitch. I want to find, well, this used to be a different deal I had going on where you had to pay 50% to the original seller. But anyways, don't worry about that. But this deal's, well, I wanted to run into the big drug dealers, because this deal kind of runs like a drug dealer. Because you got your sellers and but you can't even hire a salesman for this job, because once they realize what the deal is, they won't want to sell for you. But anyways, which is a good thing, because in a way there's nobody who's going to come in and rape and pillage the deal, because it's still going to take a little bit of effort. But now I'm getting to the game part of it, but you can run on the internet with a website, but as soon as you got a website, man, that impresses people, because this deal's live on the internet. And but anyways, there's a thing called Bing AdWords, but I go through that in my other videos. But if we can understand this cooperative, so we're just raising money for the cooperative, but everybody's in the co-op. And just because I was trying to figure out a word for the deal, because pyramids is not the word for it, but the word for it is cooperation. So if we all cooperate, even though we're down and out, because the thing is you're only a paycheck away from homelessness yourself, and a lot of people are like, the economy's, I've never seen it so bad. We can make money in a poor economy, because I was going to say Trudeau, but he did okay during the Depression, his family, but for most people it's like, anyways, I've done okay up till now as far as business goes, but now I got this other business that I'm working on, which is the internet. So usually my time is devoted to my other businesses, but I'm getting too old to be knocking on doors. But with this deal, you could knock on doors even. But I was going to think about that too, instead of knocking on the doors when I was in firewood business, because if I waited to knock on the door, I was better off to deliver a flyer and hit 4 houses instead of 1. But anyways, this deal has been like trying to get a sale for knocking on doors for like 10 years without a sale, with just an idea. But anyways, I don't want to take up too much time, because people won't want to watch the videos. But anyways, I'm just uptight or strung out here, because I'm waiting to go to I'm just like a horse waiting for the race. But anyways, I got to get up tomorrow, and I was going to say pound the pavement, but I got to get this deal built, because in a way I'm desperate, because I want to get it done before I die, so that my kids got life insurance of some. This is better than any life insurance policy that you could ever buy. But in a way, it works like life insurance. Everybody's putting money in the kitty, but we're all taking it out. And then one thing is, I'm only one step ahead of you. I'm probably one step behind you, because on this deal, because I only make $40 a month more than anybody else on this son of a bitch. But everybody else is at par. But if you can see that I deserve my fair share too, but I got to work for it like everybody else. Okay, thank you.